Let's start today's session on the Azure monitoring. And in this session, we will discuss the various monitoring capabilities offered by Microsoft Azure. So, the very first thing which we have for monitoring in Azure, that's called Azure Monitor. Okay, Azure Monitor was not there from the day one. Prior to that, there were two, three services which were used to do the separate monitoring. Later on, Azure Monitor comes in and it becomes the unified monitoring solution for Microsoft Azure. Okay, so Azure Monitor is a unified monitoring solution, a common platform for all metrics, logs, and other monitoring telemetries. Okay, by using the Azure Monitor, you can find the insights. Means you can say you will find the data-driven insight. Azure Monitor gives you the capability to run the advanced diagnostic, right? And the analytics that is provided by Microsoft Azure Monitor that is powered by machine learning capabilities also. As well as Azure Monitor also allows you to get integrate with various other services. Okay, it has out of the box capabilities to get connected. If it doesn't have out of the box capability connect to some service, definitely you can leverage the REST APIs or the SDK of Azure Monitor to get it connected. So Azure Monitor helps you to monitor and visualize the metrics, right? Means you can see what's happening with your resources time to time. It can also helps you to monitor to query and analyze the logs, right? So now you might have a question that what is the difference between the metrics and the logs. So we will discuss the same into the coming slides. As well as it also helps you to set up the alerts and the actions, right? So if something got find into the log analytics or metrics analysis, then you would like to alert someone. Okay, for an example you can say that application is going to fail, right? Means from the last 5 minutes application is experiencing some issues, or now it's going to fail, or someone in past someone has just tried to change your storage account keys. Definitely you would like to alert the respective person. Okay, so you can set up the alert and the actions by using the Azure Monitor. So if you will see the Azure Monitor overview, so you can see that there are various resources which generates the logs. So if we will talk about the resources specific to Azure, so you see that we have the applications, and applications may be the platform as a service. We have the operating system. It means the operating system running into your virtual machine. We have various Azure resources. When we said Azure resources means any Azure service. Azure subscriptions like where you creates your services, and Azure tenant, it means your active directory. Apart from that, we also have the custom sources to generate the telemetry. Custom sources may be any application. For an example, one of my application is running say into my on premise or my personal desktop or any other server which is not related to Azure, but still I would like to collect its telemetry. So yes, Azure Monitor helps us to collect that telemetry also. Okay, so that comes under the category of the custom sources. So Azure Monitor collects all these logs in two format, right? All these resources either will generate the logs matrix, or they will generate the simply log, or they can generate the both types of logs. Azure Monitor help you to analyze these two types of logs, matrix and logs, by using the insight. Insight means insight can be used to have some deep insight of your application, your containers, your virtual machines. Azure Monitor has the capability to visualize all these logs. So you can create your own dashboards, you can create views. If you would like to integrate it with the Power BI, you can integrate the same with the Power BI also. As well as you can also create workbooks within the Azure Monitor. No, workbook like you can say the scripting book, the scripting. Okay, it will help you to analyze the logs. So for analyzing, we have matrix analytics and we have the log analytics, two options available. As I discussed earlier, if something has been found during the analysis of the log, definitely you need to respond it. Now, response may be either you would like to alert someone or you would like to do some sort of auto scaling or a scale out or a scale in or horizontal scale. Mhm, mhm. So again, exception doesn't say that you need to scale, right? Scaling means you said that okay, there is lot of incoming requests are in the queue. Then you need to scale up, right? As well as Azure Monitor also offers you to get integration between the Event Hub, Logic Apps, as well as it also exposes the APIs, so you can integrate third-party applications to Azure Monitor. Now, what kind of data Azure Monitor collects? Right, so we have seen the various resources in previous slide. So Azure Monitor can collect the data from application monitoring data, means your application's logs. Guest OS monitoring data. Whenever you are creating a virtual machine into the Azure, it can collect the guest OS monitoring data, how your operating system is behaving. It can collect Azure resource monitoring data, right? How Azure resources are working. It has Azure subscription monitoring data. It means what kind of operations are getting happened or happening into your Azure subscription. As well as it also collects Azure tenant monitoring data. Means how you are using your tenant, means the number of users, the logs, any conditional access log, that all can also be connected by Azure Monitor. So there are various data sources. So you can see the type of the data sources and the monitoring capabilities which can be used to monitor that data source. Okay, so as I said, that your data sources can generate log either in matrix or in log format, or they can generate both type of logs. So if you are going to collect a custom source data, then you have to use data collector API. When we say data collector APIs, means either the REST APIs or the SDK. If you have your application, so you can, application means something which is deployed into Azure, say Azure web app, Azure function. Then you can configure application insight. You just need to configure application insight and your application related data will start flowing into the logs. Guest operating system like virtual machines. So you can either install the dependency agent, you can install log analytics agent, as well as you can enable the diagnostic extension. Okay, so depending on your need, once you will enable all these, right, your guest operating system logs will start collecting into Azure monitors logs. Okay, so you see the top three is Azure, other clouds or on premise. They can be onto the Azure, they can be on some other cloud, or they can be on the on premise. The bottom three is related to the Azure specific. So Azure services, like any service which you have created in Azure. So we have monitoring solutions for them, we have diagnostic logs, and we have matrix data collector. You can collect all the matrices generated by those Azure services. When it comes to Azure platform, so we have service health and activity log, right? Each and every resource along as well as the subscription both have their activity logs. When it comes to Azure tenant, like your Active Directory, yes, you can collect all the audit logs into your Azure monitor. Okay, so these are the resources of your Azure monitors, like Azure infrastructure and the resources. They may be the auto scale, notification, portal, PowerShell, etc. and you can integrate them with third party also. So we will see into the later slides how we have to do that. Now, if I would like to divide the offering of Azure Monitor into some category, so you can see that when I would need to monitor my applications, so we have application insight, and application insight will collect all the telemetry of your application. Then, if you would like to monitor your infrastructure, so we have the log analytics, we have management solutions, network monitoring, service map, etc. So this will give you the deep infrastructure monitoring of your Azure resources. If you will see what kind of core monitoring we have, when we said core monitoring, it means it is the part and it can be leveraged by various other services in Azure Monitor. So we have Azure Monitor, we have Advisor, means Azure Advisor, we have Service Health, we have Activity Log. If we talk about the shared capabilities, so shared capabilities are Alert, Dashboard, and Matrix Explorer. It is not necessary that Alert can only be generated by Azure Monitor, or Dashboard can only be generated by Azure Monitor, or Matrix Explorer can be used by Azure Monitor. No, these are the independent entities also. Okay, so now come to the log versus Azure matrix. So as I said that data can be telemetry can be in two form, either in matrix or in logs. When it is stored in form of matrix, like so it is the measurement of some aspects of time. Means CPU at this time, CPU percentage as this time, RAM percentage at this time. So this you can say it's a they get stored into a time series database, right? But when it comes to generic logs something application is started, right? User connected to SQL database. This type of information get stored into the similar structure looks like table and then you can say the rows and then you have the data. Okay, logs can also contains the numerical values. Now it's clear to you what is the difference between the matrix and logs. So how you will monitor, what kind of offering Azure Monitor provides us? So we have matrix monitoring solution, we have log analytics monitoring solution. So when you see the matrix monitoring, means you need to use Matrix Explorer, right? And you can see the matrix can be generated by either they have the platform matrix, they have the application inside data. They can generate by Windows or Linux VM. We have web applications and we have the custom matrix APIs. And how you can use this matrix? So you can use this matrix data but to creating or analyzing by making the chart, means you can use Matrix Explorer. You can visualize data into Azure portal, you can create dashboards. If you would like to combine the matrix data with the log data, see, combined the matrix data with the log data, you can use log analytics. Okay, if you would like to create a automatic response system for critical conditions, you can define alerts. If you would like to stream the matrix data to some other third party sources, then you can use Event Hub, out of the box integration provided. Okay, if you would like to execute a run book, suppose you would like to analyze something and you have a predefined set of scripting, then you can use PowerShell commands to execute the run books. As well as you can, Matrix Explorer also has the REST APIs for the custom application. So in your custom application, you can directly call those REST APIs and you can fetch out the data. This I did in 2016 when it was uh, just launched. Application Insight was just launched, and at that time I was using their REST APIs to fetch out the data, storing into it our own database, and to create the charts on top of that data into this jQuery framework and React framework. Okay, because you cannot share that data. You have, if you would like to share the data, you have to give users access to your Active Directory. right? So we said, okay, we will fetch out the data, we will store it into our own database, and then we will leverage it. And the other reason was because in free category, you can store only data for 7 days. Okay. So without, because we were not willing to spend even a single penny, so we said, okay, we will keep out that data for historical purpose also, and then we will use it. Now, same is with the log analytics. So log analytics use activity logs from Azure resources, and this this can include information on their configuration and health and diagnostic. Okay, so left hand side you can see that Azure resources can generate the log data, virtual machines can generate the log data. Can you then platform management groups can create the data. Application Insight also has the logs data. Azure Security Center also provides data to you, right? And whenever you are executing some sort of PowerShell or runbook, it generates the data. Okay, as well as you can also use REST APIs to push your logs into logsdb, right? And onto the right hand side, you can see that how you can analyze these logs. So you can write queries by using log analytics. You can create dashboards. You can create workflow, okay, by using logic apps. You can set up the alerts. You can visualize them by using Power BI, as well as if you would like to access them into your custom application, you can use log search APIs. Now let me demonstrate you how this matrix explorer works, right? So you have to go to this and search for matrix explorer. Hmm, have they changed the name? No. Where it gone? Okay, so let me try to access with some other way by going to Azure Monitor. Once you will go to the Azure Monitor, and here you can see this Matrix Explorer, right? Once you will click it here, now you will need to define a scope. Okay, so scope means what kind of data you would like to, means what resources data you would like to analyze. For better granular analysis, you should narrow down your scope, right? So suppose I would like to analyze this data, right? So I says, okay, I will use this one. Something went wrong. Why can't I select multiple resources? Okay, now it is asking me define this. So I am saying I will use a storage account, right? Then I will select a storage account, for example, this. Now if I would like to apply, then by having this, I can analyze that what kind of data I have. So you need to select a matrix, so availability, and you see it says that okay, my this data is available, right? And if I will select say eGrease, then it will let me know that how this data is coming to my storage account, right? If you would like to do some sort of aggregation, you can do the aggregation here. Okay, and if you would like to add new chart, you can add new charts. Similarly, if you would like to set up the alerts, you can set up the alerts from here. So this is a unified interface. The only things depends like from where you are accessing it. So you see that because I am accessing, I have already narrowed down the scope. So this particular scope field is already pre-filled. and condition. Okay, because I am working on to the agrees. So condition is whenever the sum agrees or greater than this particular threshold logic. If you would like to change this condition, you can change the condition also, right? So from here you can change the condition. If you would like to define the dynamic threshold, then you can define the dynamic threshold also. Okay, so you can say, okay, when egrees is greater than total, you can say like 10 MBs. Okay, I am saying this is 10 MBs and in 5 minutes. So I am saying I am creating a alert rule that okay, in last 5 minutes, if data ingestion to my this storage account is greater than 10 MB, then throw an alert, right? And the frequency of the evaluation will be every 5 minutes, every 1 minute, right? You can also change this frequency of the evaluation. So let me go here. Now once I will set it up, right? Then and here is the estimated cost. Okay, cost USD. This is okay. Now what kind of action you need to perform? So you have to first create an action group. So let me see if I already have an action group. I might have that billing action group. So yes, I have this. Or let me create one for you. So in action group, you need to first create a action group, right? And then you have to define the notification, that what kind of notification you would like to send. So right now you can send only two type of notification, email to any Azure. Okay. So you can select a predefined resource management, means on which you would like, on which role user you would like to send this email alert, right? Or you can select this email as your resource, uh, this push and voice. Once you will click it here, then you can define your additional emails. You can define SMS service. You can define Azure app push notifications. If you are using a voice based like pager, then you can use this, right? Into the next step, you have to configure the actions. Okay, so here it is the notifications, right? You will notify someone. That now what kind of action you would like to take. So action maybe you would like to fire a run book. Okay, you would like to execute a Azure function. ITSM, you would like to connect to your IT service management department. This is currently for ServiceNow. You would like to execute a logic app, means workflow. Okay, you would like to provide this data to a custom webhook. Yes, you can you create a custom webhook, provide this, right? Or it's a generic webhook. So you can select it. You need to select the URL of the webhook. Okay, if you will select the secure webhook, so you just need to select whether you have this secure webhook in your subscription or not. Okay, is it clear? So once you will do all these things, right? Once you will do all these things, then you have to save your alert and you have to define the severity. Once it is done, for every 5 minutes, it will analyze every 5 minutes data, and the occurrence frequency will be every 1 minute. Okay, now let me give you a real example of all this alerting mechanism, right? Which I used, means I created a centralized alert mechanism system, right? For the client for which I works, they have only one solution, and this is okay. You can submit this information, and an incident will get generated. That was just one. Uh, I will say that was just one way. Okay. So what I did is I created one Azure function, right? And I use that Azure function as a webhook. Okay, and you see that I can Define the webhook. Is it clear? Is it clear? Right. Then whatsoever services I was using, whatsoever services I was using Data Factory. So I created the alert for Data Factory. Okay, I created the alert for Data Factory. I was using Azure Functions. I created the alert for Azure Function. I was using this storage account. I created alert for storage account, and I provided this webhook URL into those alerts. So I have so many services which were generating alerts. I have so many services which were generating alert, and these alerts webhook was configured here, and respective alerts were happening here. Same, I have the custom also, means wherever I am find that okay some configuration is not done correctly. In that case, because configuration is not done, so whenever my application will get started start failing, I also need to fire those alerts, right? So these are the pre-configured mechanism out of the box connectivity of the alert. But for my custom resources, I directly hit this Azure function. The only thing, because I cannot send this through alert, no, that's my application related issue, right? That's my application. Yes, exactly. That kind of things, right? Or I need to put it something. Okay, I am not getting response. Okay, or I need to say okay, some specific retry has been done. That type of alert, right? And I tried it for 3 times. It's not working. That kind of alert. The only thing what I followed is whatsoever schema generated from the alert, I followed the same schema here. The only thing is the schema ID, schema entity was here in this case was custom, right? Okay. So once I received this JSON here into this Azure functions, I written the parsing of that JSON so that I can retrieve the name of the resource, which resource has generated this error, in which resource group, in which Azure subscription. You got my point, right? Same with here, which application deploy which application and what is the URL of the application. Okay. Then I pass this information and then I send this information to the customer's ITSM department so that they can create a ticket. Now, what is the benefit of having this? They have their own APIs and they were asking me to submit in proper format. But what was happening? From here, I was just getting a bunch of JSON. And when I was putting the bunch of JSON with all other parameters, their engineers comes to us, "Ke boss, can you give us a purified information or a clear cut information? Because just to have this, we need to go and see the JSON manually and figure it out that what is happening." Okay. Similarly, when I was creating the alert here, I was creating the ticket here. This API returns me, okay, this particular ticket has been generated, right? So in this Azure functions, I was storing all such informations here. The alert received from which application means whatsoever I was submitting here. And then I was also searching a ticket ID. So that if someone comes to us that your system is not working, then we can demonstrate this, boss, see, this particular ticket was already generated, right? And if I would like to see that what kind of action they have taken, I can simply see the ticket ID from here, right? And then we created another URL so that we pass this ticket ID and we fetch the status that what they have done. Okay. So this was like, because once alert has been generated, you have no control. until and unless you go to the log analytics and try to figure it out. But here we have all the data. So suppose if my system is running in my night time and it's generating the alerts, I will not go and see, okay, what kind of tickets has been generated. I will simply see and go, okay, what happened and which application it happens. Because tickets, etc., have been already been generated, those guys or my team will take action. But being a architect, I am more interested what happens to my application, right? So this is a real use case scenario. So in now you can do a deep dive into this and you can use it for your own purpose. Clear? Okay, so jump back to the presentation. Now the log analytics. So log analytics is the same. You can log analytics will give you a nice interface where you can write your queries and you can collect the data. So currently we have not configured anything, so we will not have that much of data into our log analytics. But let me see if we have, or from where you can access that log analytics. Okay, so if you will come here and go to the Azure Monitor and you see this log, so this is for log analytics. Okay, and currently we don't have any log analytics workspace configured. So if you will click here, you need to narrow down the scope, similar, right? So I am saying, okay, I am using this, apply, and these are the logs tables which is collected. So these are not actual tables, these are some big data things. Okay, and from here, this is the data which is already collected. Okay, you can write queries on top of it, right? You can write your queries on top of it. So if you would like to see some custom queries, so you see that uh, it looks like SQL, but this is not SQL. This is called KQL, Kushto Query Language. Kushto Query Language is a proprietary language was Microsoft used to process their big data clusters data, right? But now they have opened it for general public also. So if you can see that how you need to write so this is the query. Okay, so this is the syntax to writing that queries: the table name, then a pipe parameter, pipe separator, and then you have to use this. And if you will run this, so currently I don't have any data. Okay, if I will go the last 7 days, so you see I have some data, right? And if I would like to drill down this, yes, I can do the drill down it. If I would like to see the results, so I can see the results. Okay, and it says that, okay, this is the access of your applications. So who has access your apps from this? Now, if you would like to say a specific app, definitely you can change the query where app name consists this and then query. If you would like to create a alert on top of this query, right? If you would like to create a alert on top of this query, you can again go to here, and now you can see that the scope of your alerts will be this query. Okay, and it says that this query currently not returning any data, so you need to modify this query from start date to end date, and then it will give you. And you can define the measures, the table rows, the counts. Then you just need to create an alert. Then means by defining the action group and etc. And you can create an alert. Okay, you can also select the frequency of evaluation. Is it clear? Okay, now if you will go back, if you would like to export the result of this query, you can export the result of this query to CSV, right? And you can directly connect it to Power BI, or you can also export the same into the Excel also. Okay. Prior to having the name of the log analytics, it was known as OMS, Office Management Suite. All right. So if you will see the history of this log analytics, you will find this word that is called OMS. Okay, let me go back to presentation. So how this monitoring happens? So you can see that the platform metrics can either automatically send their data to metrics, or you can set up the diagnostic setting, right? Same with the resource log. For the resource log, you need to set up the diagnostic setting so that your data will start collecting. And diagnostic setting can be configured to push your data either in logs or in storage or in Event Hub. Okay. When it comes to Azure subscription activity log, so automatically they go to the activity log, as well as you can create a log profile to submit them to logs, storage and Event Hub, means the diagnostic setting. How it is done? So let me go to a storage account, right? As a service. So I have this resource group, and within this I have this storage account. So once you will go to the respective service, and you will see here, see the monitoring. Either you can, because this supports App Insight also, and this supports diagnostic also, and it supports log preview. You can also query the directly it from here. But if you would like to push those logs, so you have to go to the diagnostic setting, and you have to select that what kind of settings you would like to push. Now add a diagnosis setting. You have to define a name, say some name. Would you like to push all the transactions? Now where you would like to send? Send to log analytics, archive to a storage account, or to an Event Hub. And send to a partner solution is something new which I have just seen, so I am not aware about it. The only thing, it is related to some sort of third party. Maybe. I don't have any idea. I seen this first time, and because Azure is a changing environment, so you understand it's not like that always I will have all such information. Okay, so am I audible? Yeah, connection was disrupted. Now, if we will go back again to our Azure monitor, and if we will go to the diagnostic setting from here, where that option moves, yeah. So here you can see that what are the various resources and what is their diagnostic status. It's this will give you a uniform interface. So you can see that you have these numbers of resources available which supports diagnostic setting, but it is not enabled for none of them, right? So if you would like to enable them from here, yes, you can enable them from here also. Clear? Okay. Now alerts. So as I said, alert will help you to proactively take actions. There will be some signals like data in, query is not giving result, there are exceptions in last 5 minutes. Then you have to define the logic, and you have to define an action group and a monitor condition. So how this alert workflow happens? So resources can generate diagnostic logs and resource metrics, as well as the activity logs also. They goes to Azure Monitor, and you can see the OMS alerts, right? And there you define the rules. And once you define the rule and its criteria get matched, then you can send the notification either by using as email, SMS, and when it comes to webhook, so you can define the function app, logic app, third party URL, or automation runbooks. Whenever you create a alert, so alert has three state: new, acknowledged, and closed, right? So according to your need, you can configure it. So they will be looks like this, okay, that this particular alert has been acknowledged. Now Azure activity log. Yeah, you want to ask something? Hmm. No, that's not. For that you have to use this third party, like it is under processing, under provision, under testing kind of thing. No, that's not. That should be a third party. So Azure activity log. So Azure activity logs provides data about the operation on a resource from the outside, right? Means what kind of operations has been done on a specific resource. How you can see that? Suppose we are onto this particular storage account and I would like to see the activity log. So I can see the activity log from here and I will see all the activity log, right? So I can define the time span here, say last month, and we have the log here, right? So you can see list storage account keys, returns storage account SAS tokens, etc. Delete event subscriptions. Okay, kind of scenarios you have. Similarly, if you want to see the activity log for your Azure subscription, so you have to go to the subscription label and you can see the subscription label activity log. When you are seeing it from a specific resource, it means you are already narrow down the scope. And here it will let you know that what happens to your subscription. And if you would like to analyze this log from the log analytics, you can click here and you can analyze your logs here. You need to write the queries. The only thing is you have to first go to the diagnostic setting to connect it and then you can use it. Okay. Now it comes to application insight. So what is application insight? And application insight is in cloud from the day one, right? So application insight is an application performance management service. It's an APM tool and it is used to monitor your application. Okay, it is used to monitor your application. Along with the application, you can also monitor some services. And what application insight will monitor? Application insight will monitor the request rate, response time, and failure rates, dependency rate, the response time and the request failure for the dependencies itself, the number of exceptions occurred, page views, and how is the loading performance of those pages, right? In what time the pages are getting loaded, any ajax call which is getting fired into your application, users and session counts. You can see all these things, but this is only for web application, right? Performance counters, how your application is performing. Diagnostic, host diagnostic, it means where your application is hosted, say as your web app, so the host diagnostic of that environment. It can also collect diagnostic trace logs and custom events and metrics. If you would like to send your own data to application insight, yes, you can send your own data to application insight for monitoring purpose. So you see that all these will send the data to the application insight, and by using on going to the application insight, you can either generate the alerts from there, you can integrate with Power BI, you can see them into the Visual Studio. Application insight has the REST APIs and it also has the continuous export. Okay, so I was talking about this application insight in 2016 when it was launched. Okay, so this is application insight infrastructure, similar to the previous slide. Now, what kind of languages is supported by Application Insight? So it supported in .NET, C Sharp, Java, JavaScript, Node.js. Unofficial support is App Sharp, PHP, Python, Ruby. Means by using some custom things, you can support into that language also. If we will see that what kind of platforms has been supported, so ASP.NET, Android, Angular, Azure, Docker, Glimpse, iOS, Java 2, OS X, Spring, Universal Windows Platform, WCF, etc. They all are supported, right? So you can send these platforms related data to Application Insight. The another thing which comes for the monitoring, sometimes we use it for monitor also, that is Azure Advisor. It means someone else is monitoring behind the scene. So Azure Advisor is another service that monitor your resources and give you notifications. So it gives you its monitor for reliability, security, performance, cost, and operational excellence. If you will configure, means you not need to configure ideally. You will see your Azure Advisor dashboard in this way. So let me demonstrate. Go to Azure Advisor. So here you can see. Now it is saying that cost wise you are okay. None of the resources having too much cost. Performance wise you are okay. Operational excellence you are okay because most of the resources we are not using. But here it says that security recommendation. So it says 23 recommendations you have, in which 6 have the high impact, 12 has the medium impact. So if you will see the impacted resources, it says that Azure Active Directory administrator should provision for SQL Server. You have one SQL Server where you are not using Azure Active Directory administrator. Multi-factor authentication should be enabled for accounts which have owner permission. So like for me, if you will see the medium, private endpoint should be configured into the key vault. So this is analysis from Azure site. Means behind the side, a machine learning algos are running. They are getting the data and they are giving you this internal. Okay. Diagnostic we have already seen that you need to configure the diagnostic and you need to configure it where you would like to store that diagnostic logs. Okay, to monitor the security, Microsoft has another service that is Azure Security Center. So Azure Security Center is a unified infrastructure security management system. Okay, that is used to strengthen your security posture of your Azure environment. Okay, so Azure Security Center help you to detect rapidly changing workload. Means it's behind the scene. It's always do the auditing. It looks for any sophisticated attacks, right? And it looks for security skills. So Azure Security Center dashboards looks like this. Okay, if I will go to my subscription and will look for Security Center. So for me, it looks like this. The only thing is Azure Security Center currently comes under two categories, right? So basic and the standard. So you have to enable this as your defender if you would like to have. Okay, and then you can configure the various things here. So you see the Azure Defender, because I have already enabled it for my subscription. So it is giving me more insights. Okay, but it has some cost, right? It has some cost. Yeah. Okay, now comes to Azure Service Health. Okay, what do you mean by Azure Service Health? Azure Service Health means how Azure is performing. Suppose you created an application. It was running for 3 days, 5 days, or say year, 2 year, 1 month, etc. Suddenly it start causing problem. Okay, then what you will see, what you will do, will you directly go, you know that okay, not even a new deployment, not even a new configuration change has been done, and your application is not behaving properly. What you will do, you have to first go and check the Azure health itself, how Azure data centers are behaving. In 3 it's 21, so I am talking about 2018. There was an outage in East US data centers, and that outage was last somewhere around 36 hours. My entire application was deployed into US data center, right? And in the morning, I started calls from the production. कि, boss, it is not working. My team said, सर चल नहीं रहा. मैंने कि किसने क्या चेंज किया भाई? तो बंदे बोले कि सर चेंज किया है बट कुछ भी गलत नहीं किया. ठीक है. अब because you did a change, then definitely problem तो होगी ना. मतलब I have full confidence on my team, but I can't say. Then I said, okay, still not working. Then suddenly I realized, okay, boss, at least check me the health of the Azure itself. Then I say there was a small orange icon, and later on it's converted into the red. Right? Then I went to the Google and type, is Azure data center down? And then people started saying, oh, it's down from last 3 hours. And it was run about 36 to 40 hours, that outage. Okay, so before in looking for your own application, first go and see how Azure is behaving. What is the health of the Azure? And you can also configure all such alerting there. Okay, so how you can do that? You have to go to the health, service health, and here it says no services found, right? So, okay, no service issue found, everything is running fine. But if you would like to create an alert, you can create an alert here. Then you can say, okay, what kind of on what services you are looking for alert, on what reasons you would like to monitor. So suppose if you have deployed everything into East US, why you will monitor West US, right? And then you can see that what kind of service issues it has, whether they have plant maintenance, health advisories, etc. So in production we used to configure this, right? So this is for alerting. Now there is an another page that is Azure status, status.azure.com. Here you can see Americas, Europe, Asia Pacific, all their data centers, right? As well as if anything will happen, you will see the history here. So status history, right? You can see what happens. So 27th, 23rd on 7th of this month, this is RCA, root cause analysis. Brazil South, there was some issue and they are doing currently the root cause analysis, and here is the outcome, right? Either you can do it from there, and few years back I was using a service that was like written by some, I think some architect or Microsoft person, on to top of this log, right? They created a listener, and because here you can see that we don't have any subscription option, right? So they created their own service. They were parsing this with the information of this particular page, and then they were notifying the individual users that something is happening to the Azure. That was really a good service. Not sure, because from the long time I have not seen those emails, so maybe that service is not running. Okay, so Azure monitor versus service health. Always don't assume that there is some problem in your application. First of all, identify whether the problem is with the Azure or problem is with your application. Okay, don't eh, actually we always go for our application. Okay, so it is not necessary. You can go and you can see, okay, let's see. Sometimes what happens, your application start having issues. Then once your application will start having issues, only then, even if it is related to Azure itself or say any platform, they will not immediately get the notification that something is happening. Either they will receive a notification from their data center or someone will report them, okay, something is happening. Then they will come to know that something is happening into their data centers only. Okay. No, so now let's have a deep dive with application insight. So what is application insight? So as I said, application insight is basically a APM tool, and it can be used to monitor a live web application. It can detect the performance analyze. It can diagnose the various issues, and it can understand the real world behavior. Have you ever used Google Analytics? So all those features are here, right? So if you have done the Google Analytics, so it will be easy for you to understand. So by using application insight, you can also monitor the metrics, right? And you can see this visualization graph. It is not necessary that per application you need to have one application insight. You can use one application insight for various applications or services, and you can see all these things. So it is saying like, okay, one instance, and all these fan out thing is their dependencies. Okay. And onto the right hand side they are saying, okay, how many counts you have for that customer details endpoints, home index, etc. What is the slowest request by name? So you can see that, okay, 4.2 seconds is getting taken by service tickets slash assignment. Okay, so now the question is how you will do the maps and all mapping, etc. So this is something related to the coding practice. If you are planning to use application insight for your wave and worker role, then you have to define the role name also, so that you can easily identify that, okay, this particular role is causing some problem. And here you can see that this is the custom code to send your data to the telemetry, right? I have used this very heavy very heavily, right? Why I have used this very heavily? Because initially I was collecting all the logs as a blob storage. Then my client says, no, we will leverage log analytics for all this. So ask Abhishek to put all the logs into this. So I created just one method because the application was modularized enough. So instead of sending this append to log method, I simply changes that method, right? And created one override for it, overload for it, and start sending data into custom telemetry. But when I was sending this to custom telemetry, I need to do some changes for that, so that I can identify that if there are 1,000 lines, because one line will get stored as a separate row, you can assume. So if I need to identify that, okay, all these 1,000 lines belongs to one execution, how can I do that? So I put a custom identifier into the logs, and that custom identifier I was keeping with myself. So suppose you are hitting my Azure function, and there was some issue occurred. So I will return you that custom identifier, and it will have, okay, you can connect with support by having this custom identifier, as well as same I will receive over my email also, so that I can go and see that what happened, whether the request was wrong or the request was corrected but data properties were wrong, whether JSON parsing get failed, what happens actually. Okay, or it get failed during the connectivity to SQL server or connectivity to some other application. Okay, so that I can write the query, and during the query I says, okay, means select the table, then where error ID is this. And when I said error ID is this and sending order by time, so all that logs related to that instance will be shown onto this log analytics, means application insight. Okay. If you would like to configure the application map configuration, so yes, you need to configure this into your app.settings. So customize telemetry this. So, but this is not something that you will just understand in one day. Okay, you have to spend a minimum 4 to 5 days to understand this application insight. Okay, so you can view activity logs to audit actions on risk. So suppose if you would like to monitor a website, so you can monitor this website for all such things. Now if they are having some transient faults, right? So how you can handle the transient fault? And I think you have listened this retry pattern, circuit breaker pattern, etc. Right? So you can use those mechanism. Okay, so you can use transient fault, you can use circuit breaker for, you can either cancel the transaction, retry the transaction, or retry after a delay. And we already have nugget packages available for it. So you can use those nugget packages, and you can write the code within that function. Means you just need to call a function, and on top of that functions you have to orchestrate that retry logic. So you see like this: retry count 3 and time span delays from seconds 5. So when the first time it will fail, you will have to delay 5 seconds, right? Okay, so you can see like how you have to handle the transient error in the code. So you have to just write a method, and within that you need to write the logic. Then how you would like to do. So we have various nugget packages available. Third party libraries also available. You can leverage them. Okay, so how you will detect whether this is related to a transient error? So again, you have to identify based on the exception, that what kind of exception you have. Okay, so if you will parse your exception type, then you will get this information. Okay, so that's it for the monitoring. You have any question, you can ask.